the bar was too low. If your partner is not required to communicate well, and well does not necessarily mean always effectively. Sometimes there might be some syntax error. We might get caught up in the semantics between us, but I'm telling you, it is not okay for one word answers. It's not okay. Unless the answer really doesn't require more than a yes or no, I might need you to say some more shit, nigga. If he can't consistently pick up the phone or return calls, that's a problem. If you guys are just having ineffective communication because he gets to dictate how and when you guys communicate, that might be that the bar is set too low. If you have a particular position in their life, meaning, oh, she's there to take care of something specific in my life, the bar might be too low. It's not that women want to harass black men, because I know that's another like, oh, you're just so nagging. I get that there are real systems that have been created to actually tear black people down. So see, I think one of the misnomers to black men is that it's only happening to them. But let us never forget that the great Malcolm X said that black women are one of the most unloved fucking creatures, if not the most unloved on the planet. Even truly when it comes to having love from their own men. I think the message of keep some for yourself, as all you got to do is step up financially, or even if you're just there as a fucking shell, all of that is acceptable. What actually that is an excuse for some fuck shit. The bar can't be set any lower, brothers. Defending and excusing problematic behavior walks a fine line to coddling and low expectations. Some of you niggas really need just some therapy. Just like something, You just, listen, you don't need to. Do you really believe that having a low social EQ where the bar for you is basically set to the same level of a 4-year-old? Oh, well, he doesn't know how to do that. So I will just make up for it a little bit more. Oh, you know what? He's not used to having to be nice. So I'm just going to have to make up for it just a little bit more. You know what? I'm just happy that he is able to even see me when he feels like it. Some people don't have anybody to see them. What? And listen, I have been guilty of it myself. There are times where I feel like I'm currently guilty of it, if we're going to tell the truth. I don't know what the line between compromise and kind of not lowering the expectation, but at least changing the expectation. Sometimes I feel like it's such a fine line between the two. And more oftentimes with fine lines, you've never known when you fucking crossed it. When you've crossed the line, you almost never fucking know, okay? When the relationship that you're having outside of your relationship went from we just was cool one day to the next thing you know, we was dry humping. That's a fine line, bitch. Because that's a fine line. And when you cross it, oftentimes, it just happens just like that. And so I guess what I would love to have ongoing conversation about is how do you know when you've crossed the line of low expectations versus changed expectations? How do you know when you're in the middle of, hey, I just need to compromise versus I am completely giving up everything that I require? Expectations are not a bad thing. You've got to consider this. There's nothing that you can do in life that you don't put all in, even emotionally all in, and then want something back from it that looks different. And I think that that's the real gag that people need to get. Not just black men, but I think the real message here is garbage in, garbage out. There's never going to be a harvest that you're going to sow that's going to be, I'm only going to put in half the seed and think you are going to get a large harvest. It doesn't work like that. You literally reap what you sow. So even in expectations to black men, and what they think that it is necessary for them to give of themselves. You brothers got to know that everything that you get out of life is what you've sowed into it. So if that relationship is annoying to you, think about what you're sowing into that. If you find that your children are unfulfilled by their relationship of parent to child to you, think about what you've sowed into that. If your career life has been struggling for the past 10 years, think about what you've sowed into that. You reap what you sow. So let's get those expectations up on the ground. Pants on the ground, pants on the ground. Walking like you're talking with your pants on the ground. Yes. I mean, like, that's really the real tea. There's nothing that you're going to get that's going to fill you that you're only doing half or some of the work. Asking people around you to adjust their expectation of you because you don't want to raise the bar for yourself is defending and excusing bullshit behavior. And I think that what I do love about people like Crystal and Jade and just even my sister circle around me, you know, my homegirls and some of my homeboys too. Enough is enough with the bar being low. Because you niggas not only are marching down your parade of fuck nigga shit. You know, I keep saying that some of you niggas need a placard because you are emotionally handicapped. You got to get your own parking space. You deserve to be closer to the door, nigga. You deserve. You deserve to be closer to the door. You do. Because your emotional IQ is on another level. Okay, listen, I had to take a piss test for a job today that ain't worth shit. To God be the glory for it though. Amen. But they said, bitch, we got to know if you all in. Sometimes you be knowing when a nigga's not all in too. You know, my mom used to say something to me when I was young. Anything done halfway could never be done right. When I was a manager, back in St. Olaf, okay? But, you know, when I was a manager, I believe I had high expectations for people who worked with me. I hate to say under me, with me, you know? And I did because lowering the bar has never done shit for anybody. I can either jump down and meet you where you are, or you can rise up. There's nothing wrong with rising up, with challenging yourself. Anything that's not growing is dead. And say that for everything. That's life. That's energy. And we're talking about mindfulness here, emotional quotients. We're talking about big people things. Anything that's not growing is dead. If there is someone who is telling you that they will not ebb and flow for anything, that they are saving some for themselves, this is someone who is refusing to grow. So you are basically with an emotionally dead person. They don't even get to park close to the door. They are in an emotional graveyard. They're dead. That person will never be able to give you life, sis. That nigga is never going to give you life. He's never. This relationship will always need a DNR, bitch. And I don't mean do not run. It's going to be a do not resuscitate. Because this nigga is emotionally dead. At least if he's emotionally handicapped, his levels are just really fucking low. you know? But if he's an emotional dead, that means he's not even fucking trying. He's just showing up when he wants. He is telling you that, listen, bitch, I am who I am, so you need to deal. That nigga's dead, sis. And if you ever wondered one thing, when you have that kind of energy around you, the energy of death, it paints the very fiber of your life. So if there's a nigga around you who is not willing to grow, but he is actually, in fact, emotionally dead, just know that you are also on the receiving end of that energy, and you're bringing that energy. That is why life can't happen to you. That is why God can't speak life into you. You don't want life. You want death. So you messing with someone who is literally telling you, my levels, I am done growing emotionally. I stopped at 7 years old. I probably needed some therapy to get out of this latent ass fucking stage of emotional bullshit that I'm in. But bitch, I like it down here. So you can either hop down Rapunzel's hair and meet me down here in the emotional graveyard, or I'll see you when I see you, bitch. Listen, I think this is a continued discussion. And I just want to repeat, I am not anti-black. I'm not anti-black man. I'm actually pro-black man. And I want to see y'all rise to the occasion, because you guys don't understand that until y'all rise to the occasion, not only will we not be able to correlate to each other, but our community will always be what it is right now. The Diddy's and the Oprahs of the world are less than 1% of the U.S. population are billionaires or millionaires or whatever the case is, you know? The rest of us is out here. So what that means is that unless we decide that we're going to try to get this work done, the emotional work done, we will not fiscally be even in the place that we want to be. A nigga who's only giving half of himself to everything, his relationship, his job, his family, his friends, his kids, that nigga's only getting half out of life. He's only getting half out of life. That nigga will never realize his real potential. And you know, there's nothing like trying to convince a girl who has low self-esteem and low self-worth that she actually is beautiful. There's nothing more painstaking. There's nothing more annoying. There's nothing more just like get under your skin, because no matter how much you tell that bitch, the bar is so low for her that she can't get up. She'll never see it the way you see it. So, listen, I think that we really have to just, take care of one another and take care of ourselves. I love you guys so much for listening. Let's continue the conversation. Tell me what you think of this week's show. Tell me what you want to hear more of. I love you guys. Again, you know where to find us. And, like two legs spread apart, baby, it's a peace.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.